What's up, guys? Welcome to the Skeleton Closet, where we talk celebrity news and hot topics. Today we are getting into a couple different things. One of them being Whoopi Goldberg clapping back at Meghan McCain on The View today, as well as Erica, Mena, and Safaree Samuels and their marital issues and what lies ahead for them. So let's get into the video.
I'm gonna just run down my shout outs. The dun.
First up today, we have to talk about Meghan McCain and her blue eyeshadow. Baby girl, why did you do that? Why, huh? You thought blue, girl. I don't think blue is the color for you, and I don't mean to talk about women and their appearances because I know that can be, received with some type of outrage. And I'm not trying to talk about the girl, but I don't think blue is the right color for her. That shade of blue, at least. I don't think that wasn't it. We're not talking about that today. I just wanted to bring that up. And I definitely have a new name for her with this white crocodile skin suit that she has on. Business suit Barbie. I'm adding that to the list of names for Meghan McCain, Nutmeg, Princess of Arizona, business suit Barbie. That's her new name. That's one of her new names. All right. But we're not talking about her suit or her makeup today. That's not why I wanted to chat with y'all today in the closet. What I want to chat about today is Whoopi Goldberg clapping back at her after her response to a question about Mitt Romney and his saying of Trump possibly getting the nomination from the Republican Party to run in 2024 for president again. Now, when discussing possible nominees for 2024, Ron DeSantis came up, who is the governor of Florida. Meghan McCain said that Ron DeSantis was doing a really good job in Florida and cited poll numbers, as she always does, says that he was doing a really good job in Florida, helping people get vaccinated. And on the topic of vaccinations, all right, there has been reports of him giving vaccines to some of his friends and some of the wealthy people in Florida. Whoopi had something to say about this in response to what she had to say. But just so y'all know what he did or how this has been a topic of discussion when it comes to vaccines in Florida and how people have been saying this is unethical. So it was reported by the Daily Beast that DeSantis funneled 3,000 extra doses to seniors residing in two targeted zip codes, two of the more wealthy zip codes in Florida, within Lakewood Ranch, a well-off residential community near Bradenton developed by the I don't know how to pronounce this last name, Yulin family. The Klan's members, I don't know why they said the Klans. That's really unsettling to me. The Klan's member include GOP and DeSantis mega donor Richard Yulin, who gave $900,000 to the governor's re-election effort in 2018 and 2019, according to the Florida Division of Elections. The Yulins own Lakewood Ranch's parent company, Schroeder Manatee Ranch, whose CEO Rex Jensen got a call from DeSantis about delivering the goods, as first reported by the Bradenton Herald. Now, what it sounds like to me is DeSantis wanted to give back to a community that was built by one of his mega donors in his previous campaigns. To me, that sounds like a conflict of interest and also very unethical. But of course, people on the right want to ignore things like that. And Sunny came out and said that she wishes that DeSantis was getting the same outrage as Andrew Cuomo, who is the governor of New York City, because he's been getting some outrage about the discrepancies in nursing home deaths in his state. But of course, Nutmeg, business suit Barbie, Princess of Arizona, didn't want to mention that because she wanted to make someone on the right look good and ignore their unethical ways. Instead, she wanted to blame Democrats for being angry and outraged and not wanting to hear what people on the right have to say or embracing them when it comes to bipartisanship. She says that Democrats are still blaming Republicans for the world possibly ending and just continues to go down this woe me, I'm a victim type of rant about how Democrats are targeting Republicans and saying that they're evil, when in actuality, that's not what Democrats are saying. What Democrats are saying is just, why can't Republicans just seem to have some type of decency when it comes to people. Now, she also, at the end of her rant, talks about how she watches Tucker Carlson and how that can outrage some people. And frankly, yes, that is very outraging and very concerning, because personally, I like Meghan McCain. I think she's one of the better people on the show. They definitely keep her there for shock value and for ratings, because she's one of the most controversial co-hosts on the show. Now, at the end, she talks about how she watches Tucker Carlson and how that might upset some people. And frankly, yeah, that is kind of upsetting, because I like Meghan McCain. I don't always like to admit it because of the things that she says, but I like her because she's good for TV. But she talks about how she watches Tucker Carlson and how she would never vote for a Democrat, okay, because she is a lifelong Republican. Granted, fine, understandable. But Whoopi Goldberg claps back at her and says, I don't expect for you to vote for a Democrat, but I would expect for you to know right from wrong. And I would expect for you to know that it's wrong for DeSantis to give vaccines to people in that community that are rich and possibly his friends. Meghan wanted to, chime in a little bit and said he gave vaccines to his friends, but she clearly knew what Whoopi was talking about when she made this statement. Who's to say that those people aren't his friends? But whether or not they're his friends or not, it is still wrong. And another host that chimed in on this topic was Sunny Hostin, one of my other favorite hosts of the show. She said that she just wishes that he was getting the same type of outrage that Andrew Cuomo was getting, because both of them are wrong and both of them are very unsettling and concerning. So where's the outrage from the right about this? There isn't any. They're quiet. There's crickets. There's nothing for them to say. But this isn't the only thing that Sunny had something to talk about today. She wanted to give her 2 cents when it came to Fox commentator. I'm not even going to call him a journalist, because he's not that, okay? He said something in regards to the January 6th insurrection, and Sunny said that she was absolutely disgusted. She said she was disgusted by what Tucker Carlson said. She said, how dare he say there was no evidence of white supremacy on January 6th at the Capitol. Now, if you weren't able to tune in on Monday night to Tucker Carlson's show, I don't blame you for that, because I don't watch Fox News. But to do this show, I had to catch up and, see what he had to say and what his words were. He said, there's no evidence that white supremacists were responsible for what happened on January 6th. That's a lie. And contrary to what you've been hearing, there's no evidence this was a armed insurrection. Now, I was watching the insurrection on TV live. I didn't have to go back and watch this. This was something that I saw from my own eyes. I was sitting on my couch watching the news, and I was seeing these people march closer and closer and closer to the Capitol. And I'm thinking, well, the police have to step in sooner or later. The police are going to stop them. They're going to put up barricades, and they're not going to be able to get even, 100 feet of the Capitol. That didn't happen. I'm continuously watching, sitting on the edge of my couch, like they're getting closer and closer and closer. And next thing you know, they're on the steps. And next thing you know, they're breaking windows. And next thing you know, they're almost on the Senate floor. So I don't understand how he can go on national TV and say that it's a lie, that it wasn't an armed insurrection, because people had guns, people were using flags as weapons, people were spraying bear mace. At the Senate hearing, one of the police officers was talking about how she still is suffering from chemical burns on her face because people were spraying military grade mace. Now, as far as his comments about there was no white supremacists at the Capitol on January 6th, is an absolute lie, because there's this famous picture of this man carrying a Confederate flag in the Capitol building. But also, not only that, we know that a lot of the people that subscribe to the MAGA movement, the QAnon movement, are white supremacists, okay? Ever since Donald Trump took office, there has been a rise in hate crimes against minorities and people of color. All because the man that sat in the White House for 4 years was giving them excuses, giving them reasons to be angry and reasons to be who they are. He was not denouncing the Proud Boys, the white supremacists, or any of the people that are far right extreme groups, he was not denouncing them because he knew that that was his base. Those were the people that were subscribing to his movement and the people that were giving him the energy and the momentum that he needed to continue to have the approval ratings and the potential to win the 2020 election. Ultimately, he lost because coronavirus happened and he wanted to ignore that. So Sonny was rightfully upset and rightfully disgusted by what Tucker Carlson had to say on his show on Monday night, because what do you mean there was no evidence of that? We all know, everybody knows, it's a clear fact that white supremacists were at the Capitol on January 6th. Sonny said she was disgusted by what Tucker Carlson had to say, and I am too, because that is disgusting. These people on the right have been ignoring the cries and the feelings of minorities and people of color for so long that they just have normalized it. They don't even realize what they're doing at this point anymore. And Joy made a comment about tying Tucker Carlson up and sticking him in a corner somewhere. Now, you know, Joy can be a little loose-lipped when it comes to her comments about people that she dislikes or has strong feelings for. She said that, and then she came back at the end of the segment and was like, I don't want it to come across that I want anything to happen to Tucker Carlson or that I advocate for violence. So she wanted to wrap that up real quick, button that up, and let everybody know that she doesn't want anything to happen to Tucker Carlson, and she does not promote violence. I'm sure people are going to be making reports about The View advocating for violence, Joy Behar advocating for violence, but I think she was just like, man, shut up, okay? If you're not going to say the truth on national television, just be quiet. That is just one of the consequences of living in a free society with free press and free media. People can get a show and talk about whatever they want to and just spout lies on national TV, and that's just something that we have to deal with. Now, moving on from The View, we have to talk about Erica, Mena, and Safaree Samuels. Erica, Mena, and Safaree Samuels are in some marital woes, if you will. They're having some issues with their marriage. It's not quite clear what the problem is or what the two are in a tiff about, all right? But they were on Twitter going back and forth because something happened. It looks like they're having some issues because Erica Mena called Safaree Samuels selfish, vain, and inconsiderate. She said that it's not just with her, but also with their daughter. Now, I've never met Safaree Samuels a day in my life, okay? But what I can tell you about him is that he looks like he would be selfish. The man wears fur coats, big jewelry, big sunglasses, and wears the fur coat open to show his chest and his abs. I could tell you that he was vain. You knew that before you married the man, so why are you complaining about it now? You knew that he was vain and possibly inconsiderate and definitely selfish because look at him. I don't mean to judge a book by its cover, but sometimes you gotta call a spade a spade. And I don't fault her because she probably fell in love with the man and was like, he possibly is going to change, or maybe he wasn't with her. But I have to say, when you're dating for somebody for so long and they've been knowing each other for possibly a decade, 11 years, I think, you know what a person is like. When you spend that much time with somebody, you know who they really are, okay? So, girl, I have to say, you can't fault nobody but yourself because you knew what type of man this was before you met him or when you met him and before you married him. So, I feel bad for sis and I feel bad for their daughter Sapphire that they have together. But as far as their marriage, I mean, I could have told you that this probably wasn't going to work. Not because of him being selfish and vain. I couldn't have predicted that, but possibly because they're two hotheads. Both of them are very, very, very opinionated people. If you haven't tuned into Love and Hip Hop, I definitely suggest that you do. Love and Hip Hop New York. But the future of the show is to be determined because of COVID-19. They had paused production on all of the franchises, New York, Hollywood, and Atlanta. And we don't know what the future of the show is. They haven't announced a cancellation of the show, but because of COVID-19, they haven't been filming. So season 11 is still on hold. We don't know when season 11 will be airing, but I'm sure whenever they announce it and they premiere it, we'll be seeing all of their marital issues shared all over our TV screens on national television for all of us to see. But in the meantime, all I can tell y'all is to tune in to Twitter, check out their Instagrams, and social media to see what's going on with the Love and Hip Hop cast, because as of right now, they're not filming, and some of those checks have been cut short. And I guess that's what prompted Erica and Mena to get back on OnlyFans, because right after they went into it on Twitter, she was like, here's my link to OnlyFans. If you want to check me out, check out this. All right. I don't know if that was some revenge for Safaree, but she wasted no time to promote that OnlyFans and get some extra coins in her pocket while Love and Hip Hop is not filming. That's all I have for you guys today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Be sure to like this video if you haven't already, and subscribe to the channel so that you can join us in the closet every day and talk about hot topics and celebrity news. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take care.